That's it, boys. It's been announced. Dana White announced the fight that we've all been waiting for UFC 322, headlining Madison Square Garden. Islam Makhachev moving up to 170 to fight JDM. He announced a bunch of other fights. We're going to get to them when we get to them, but we're going to talk about Islam versus JDM first. We're going to move down the line and then get to some other fights. I am excited to talk to you boys about Mario Batista versus Umar, okay? But we're going to start right here. So listen. I understand everybody is going to say Islam is going to beat the brakes off of JDM, but just listen to me. Listen to me and do not call it cope, all right? Islam's last fight was against Renato Moicano, okay? There's really nothing to say there. He Darce choked him in the first round. Renato Moicano took it on short notice, 24 hours. Previous to that, Islam took Dustin Poirier to the 5th round. Now, this is extremely important. Dustin is a striker with kind of terrible takedown defense, okay? He is mainly like the same height as Islam Makhachev. He is just not as dense and as thick as Islam Makhachev. JDM is way more dense than Islam Makhachev, boys, okay? JDM has insane takedown defense. His last fight was against Bilal Muhammad, who he absolutely dismantled over 5 rounds. Now, I wish it was a finish. But it wasn't, okay? But he denied all of these takedowns. Now, Craig Jones. If you guys don't know who Craig Jones is, he is one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters in the world. He has a jiu-jitsu event literally this weekend fighting Chael Sonnen in the Undisputed GOAT, right? He is the jiu-jitsu coach for the Australian fighters. He's the jiu-jitsu coach for Volkanovski, the jiu-jitsu coach for Kai Kara France, even though nobody likes Kai Kara France, okay, boys? Let's be real. I'm not even being biased here. Dan Hooker and JDM. Now, when you look at the first fight Islam Makhachev had against Volkanovski, he couldn't submit him. Even when he took Volk down, he couldn't really do anything with these dominant positions, okay? I will swear up and down until I'm blue in the face that Volkanovski won that first fight with Islam, okay? His takedown defense, his anti-wrestling, his anti-jiu-jitsu, also the fact that Volk has no neck, proved that it is possible to stop these Dagestanis, okay? And I believe that JDM is going to be the chosen one. He is going to be the one to show us that Islam, the dude who has been completely overhyped in my personal opinion, the guy who has been getting cherry-picked fights, the person who's been allowed to fight once a year and proclaimed as the pound-for-pound number one fighter in the sport, is going to get absolutely dismantled and embarrassed against JDM. Do not forget that Islam had to put on 15 extra pounds of muscle to get this fight. 15. You used to fight at 155, and you looked good at 155. And regardless, we all know you were a little bit of a rehydration cheat. Volkanovski exposed you. It's all right. This is in neutral grounds. They're in New York City, okay? Islam more than likely is going to be the fan favorite because all the casuals love Islam Makhachev, but JDM is bigger, boys. His takedown defense is superb. His wingspan, his reach is going to be longer. JDM is going to be able to keep the distance and deny the takedowns and piece him up from afar and make Islam look like an amateur in there, boys. I'm telling you, I am so excited to see this. Volkanovski got an absolutely disgusting treatment when he went up. He fought Islam Makhachev to a very close decision, in my personal opinion. Like I said before, he won, and then he fought him a second time, got knocked out, went back down, fought Ilya, and got knocked out again. Islam is going to face the same fate, okay? He's going to move up, get absolutely demolished by JDM. Hopefully, I'm hoping for a KO TKO, but I won't be surprised if this goes to an absolute 50-45 of a decision, okay? If it does, Islam, hopefully, is going to move back down, give us all the super fight that we want in Islam versus Ilya, and then we're going to see Islam done, okay? Islam with 2 back-to-back losses like that, I promise you he will retire. I absolutely promise you. I don't think that Islam stays in the welterweight division, win, lose, or draw. I don't think so. I think he wants that Ilya fight. Remember, Islam gave up the belt. He's no longer a champion. He is no longer a champion. He has one of the longest winning streaks in the UFC, like most fights in the UFC won consecutively right now, right? And he gave up the belt. if he gives it up for nothing and then stays at welterweight, he's going to be fighting Sean Brady. And I promise you guys are going to call me crazy. Sean Brady beats Islam worse than JDM can. I promise. He's bigger. He's stronger. American wrestler. Not really an American wrestler, but American jiu-jitsu practitioner, ground and pound specialist. Okay, I understand Sean Brady got knocked out by Bilal. I'm not even going through the Sean Brady versus Islam conspiracy that's been cooking in my brain ever since I saw Sean Brady absolutely dismantle Leon Edwards. But who is Leon Edwards? We're gonna get to Leon Edwards. He's on this card. They announced a Leon Edwards fight, and we will get to it. But boys, this is absolutely fantastic, okay? Craig Jones has said in multiple interviews that he believes that he is the solution to the Dagestani cage wrestling and just their wrestling style, period. And I believe him. I believe him, boys. This money line is probably going to be JDM plus 350, and you guys are out of your mind. You know what? You know what? We're this far into a video. Let's go see. DraftKings.com. I'm not sponsored, boys. So, hey, prize picks. Any of you guys wanna send me a little email or a DM? Not a problem. Live odds. Let's go see JDM versus Islam Makhachev. Okay, where is UFC? Probably all the way at the bottom, right, boys? Soccer. Oh, it's gonna be under MMA, right? MMA, UFC. Okay. There's futures. Okay, that's just like it is what it is. Let's scroll all the way down. Hamzat, Ilya Patty, JDM Islam. JDM is plus 225. Plus 225. I am taking that all day. I am absolutely taking that all day. That is going to be free bread. You're moving up to a completely different way. A 15-pound difference. A 15-pound difference. JDM looked massive against Bilal Muhammad. Boys, are we being serious? Are we being serious? On the same card, Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Minyang. Zhang Minyang dropped... Wait, Zhang Weili, not Zhang Minyang. Whoa. Don't clip that. Zhang Weili dropped her belt to move up to fight Shevchenko. Now, this is a little interesting, boys, because it shows us that the UFC is not allowing any of their champions to be double champ. Ilya couldn't be double champ. Islam could not be double champ, and now Zhang Weili cannot be double champ. That it's the era of double champ is just over. It's just over. Now, if they don't give it to Islam, if they didn't let Islam hold on to the 155-pound belt while he moved up and tried to fight JDM, nobody is getting that privilege. Absolutely nobody. Now, obviously, if you're a fan of the channel, we're not the biggest fans of women's MMA. Absolutely not. But my prediction for this one is Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili. Absolutely. That woman is scary. There's a video of her single-legging Francis Ngannou and picking him up DC style where, like, you know, you put your arm in between the crotch area and you lift up. Absolutely amazing. I am picking Zhang Weili to dismantle Valentina Shevchenko, but this should have been the co-main. Now, I understand you have to give Zhang Weili 2 champions. I understand. They need their pay-per-view points before there's no more before the pay-per-view points are all gone. You got to feed the women fighters. I get it. Why are the fighting nerds getting fed the most easiest fights in their division? What's the deal with this? Carlos Prates, who is just coming off an absolutely stunning first-round knockout at UFC 319 on that Drickus card, right? Is fighting Leon Edwards, who is coming off of getting mauled by Sean Brady and then getting absolutely mauled by Bilal Muhammad. How does this even make sense? How is Leon Edwards still ranked 4, by the way? How? The only thing he did as champion was beat up Kamaru Usman once. He got lucky with the headshot dead thing, and then beat him up after he knocked Kamaru Usman out. So Kamaru Usman was scared to fight him. He was scared to feel that power again, right? Then he fights Colby Covington, who was coming off of what, a 2-year layoff? Like why is Leon Edwards still ranked 4? How is that? These fighting nerd dudes, bro, it blows my mind. They get the easiest fights in their division. Look at Carlos Prates versus Leon Edwards. Look at Marcio Ruffi versus Benoit Saint-Denis. What is this match? Look at Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez is terrible against pressure fighters. Rewatch the Volk fight. Volk was pressuring him and he just absolutely folded. Gene Silva is the definition of a pressure fighter. Excuse me. Excuse me? He's the definition of a pressure fighter. You are trying to hand Gene Silva a number one contendership free. And that's before Mozavar was supposed to fight Aaron Pico and take Aaron Pico to a decision. They're so lucky. Well, we are so lucky that Lerone Murphy stepped in and Mozavar had to pull out. I'm not saying we're lucky Mozavar got hurt. I'm never wishing injury on anybody. But Lerone Murphy just saved us from one of the most boring, well, let's be real. If Mozavar took Aaron Pico to decision, they're giving Gene Silva the title shot. But since Lerone Murphy went out there and sparked Aaron Pico, we get Lerone Murphy versus Volkanovski. Volkanovski beats Lerone Murphy 1,000%. I'm not even worried. The only person I see in that division beating Volkanovski is Gene Silva. I don't know how we got there from talking about Carlos Prates and Leon Edwards, but we got there. And, these dudes are getting hand-picked fights. The only person that's not is Brahalio. He's fighting Imanov. And even that is a little, you were the backup fighter for UFC 319 and you fight 2 weeks after that. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Obviously, Leon is going to sit here and try to be a sniper, try to stay back and keep at range. He's terrible on the ground. His ground game has been exposed in his last 2 fights. Why are we booking stuff like this? Why? Give me Usman Edwards 3. Give me Edwards versus, I don't know, not Carlos Prates, not the dude that you guys are trying to just throw into title contention. It just absolutely pisses me off. You see certain fighters get absolute Dana White treatment, Dana White privilege, and then there's other people the same dude that Carlos Prates is fighting, Leon Edwards. Boring fighter. How long of a win streak did he go on to even fight for the belt? Carlos Prates over here, I promise you, if he beats Leon Edwards and knocks him out, it doesn't matter who's next, he's fighting next. And can we also talk about how the division is the welterweight division is going to be completely clogged. Completely clogged if Islam wins. It's completely clogged anyway. Shavkat's in there. Shavkat needs another fight. Let's be real. You can't sit on a spot for a year and a half and expect to get next, right? Islam's going to be in the division. That's if he decides to do the right thing and not move down and get demolished by Ilya, right? Sean Brady, Ian Gary, Bilal Muhammad just lost. That's like 5 people. Welterweight is lit. I'm not gonna lie, but it's jam packed. Now, what Dana White also announced that I found extremely entertaining to me, and I read this and laughed. I read this and saw this and literally laughed. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista, October 25th, UFC 321. UFC 321, the Tom Aspinall Cyril Gane card. This is on here. Umar, you couldn't do what Islam expected of you, what Habib expected of you, what all of those dudes expected of you. You broke your hand in the fight. You got absolutely emoted on and demolished by Merab Dvalishvili. And you know what you get? You get a bloodthirsty, stone cold savage Mario Batista. Now look, I was on the side of everybody else when Mario Batista fought Jose Aldo. I was like, get this guy. He's the villain. How dare he? But after going out there and whooping, absolutely whooping and dog walking Patchy Mix, boy oh boy am I a fan. And now you're fighting Umar Nurmagomedov, the top op that I have at 135 pounds besides... Oh no, Kai Kara France is at 125. The top op I have at 135 pounds. Mario, I think you got this. But what I don't really like about this, boys, is something is telling me Mario Batista has what it takes to beat Merab. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen him do anything absolutely nasty to be like, that is it. That's what's gonna be done to beat Merab. He's gonna do this. Like you guys know how Corey does like the insane submissions. Corey's out here submitting people insane. He broke Davidson's Figueiredo knee in half and did this, that, and the third. His flashy knees are a little nuts. We don't really see that from Mario Batista. Sure, his cage holding is great. Something tells me this kid has what it takes to beat Merab. Something tells me. I think it's all the hate that he's getting, and he knows, like, hey, listen, diamonds are made under pressure, but something tells me Mario Batista has what it takes. I see this obviously going to a 15-minute decision. Mario Batista, 29-28, that's it, unanimous decision. I am so excited for this. Obviously, the fight that I am most excited for, boys, is JDM versus Islam. I have been waiting for them to announce this fight, boys. I have been waiting. There's so much to talk about. There's so much on the line that we're going to end up talking about this at least 10. There's going to be at least 10 more videos from me about JDM versus Islam before it even comes to fruition, boys. All right? I'm going to see you guys later. UFC 322 is an absolute banger. Shout out to Dana White. Always feeding the MMA community, the MMA streets. Like, comment, and subscribe, boys. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Peace out.